T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello, chaps and chapettes. Good afternoon. Welcome back to Honey Badger 3D Print and Paint. So, finally, we are cracking on with the Vcore 3 build. Fun little fact is that about a week and a half ago, RatRig released the Vcore 3.1. Thanks. So anybody who wants to see that upgrade, check out the real Sam Prentice. He has his upgrade going on very soon. So go over and check out Sam's channel for the for when the 3.1 thing drops. But for right now, the reason why this has taken so long. So this has genuinely taken ages to sort out. So we have the V4, the 400 by 400 build, right? And unfortunately, the panels that we've needed to get cut have just been an absolute mare. So what we have cut right now is, as you can see, we have the electronics panel on the back, and we have the Z base panel here. These are the only two panels that you need to install to be able to continue the build of the machine. Now, to be clear, you don't actually have to put the base panel in, but if you're doing an enclosed machine, you do kind of need one. And with the electronics panel, you don't have to actually have the full panel cut and everything else. You could do two half panels, or you could slice it. You could literally put a piece of wooden backing board on here and just cut your holes as you want to. We wanted to do these panels like this, and finding somewhere that would cut them, my God, not easy. So basically what we've ended up doing is we went to there is a local community group near us called the East Essex Hackspace. Which is a brilliant community-run hackspace. So they have woodworking tools, they have loads of metalworking tools, they have a little 3D printing area, they've got community computers, they've got a fair-sized CO2 laser, and they also have a few other bits and pieces as well. So those guys cut the panels for us, because obviously none of the lasers we have here are anywhere near big enough to do these. Their laser isn't big enough to cut the remaining panels that we have. So we still have to do the full enclosure kit plus the lid that goes on top. So unfortunately, we haven't got those cut yet. So we still need to do those. Now we're more than likely going to end up having those done by one of our supporters. But my God, so if you are planning on doing this build, RatRig do not sell the cut panels. All they include for you when you buy the enclosure kit is you get a box that has like all the gas struts in it and all that stuff, and then you also have this here, which is the enclosure kit, which is all the printed parts to fit the panels to the side.
Basically, just all the brackets.
Yeah, it's all the brackets and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, my God, it was actually a real problem trying to get those cut, to the point as to which we've obviously not been able to do anything else on the build whilst we've been waiting for those parts to turn up. But with that in mind, we have now. So I've installed the back panel on. When it says, have a look at some aluminium composite panels, you can get them pre-cut to size and drill the mounting holes yourself. I mean, a fair point. I mean, if you're doing an enclosure, it doesn't have to be done out of Perspex. You could do it out of. Has Mike been on the wagon again? I was little Mike been on the wagon again.
I'm moving house, so everything's being packed up.
we had to. Sorry, start that again. So yes, you could get them cut out of aluminium. You could have them cut out of wood. It doesn't have to be acrylic. I mean, if you're feeling brave, I don't suppose there's any specific reason you couldn't do them out of glass. Like you could, like you can do them out wherever you need, whatever you have access to. It's actually the size that's the issue, right? So, so anyway, so we've obviously been cracking on trying to get these done. We now have them installing this. So it does say in the instructions when you're doing parts of this, it says in big red letters, if you are going to install this panel, do it now because it will be very hard later on. And that is true. So so I had to undo the right angle brackets on the four corners here, move this piece forwards, and then I was able to slide the panel in and fix it in position. But yeah, it really is like a massive problem. if you don't fit them now, then you need to come to peace with the fact that you're not going to. So I have fitted them now, and the panel fits very well. I'm very happy with how it came out. But yeah, my God, it was a real trial getting that in. So I'm just now pre-installing all of my M6s for this. So I'm putting the Z panel in as well because, again, a machine like this, it deserves to print ABS, right? Got a job well on the condition I pass my government check. I don't know what that means. I got a job on the condition I passed my government check. Right, I get you. Yeah. Well, that's good. Hi, Carl. Hi, Andrew. Hi, my CTech. Thank you, everybody, for coming and joining us. So I'm just going to fit this on here. And now we should be able to go back and figure out how the devil this panel fits in. So, installing the Vcore base panel. So it goes scoop. Just like that. There we go. Just get all these to drop in. So I think the easiest way to describe... Oh, my screwdriver's under there. Oh, no. I think the easiest way to describe a lot of the fixings for this machine. Is there a new camera setup? It seems a lot cleaner and crisper. No. No, it's not.
It's just working.
It's just working for a change. Yeah. Nobody say anything, for God's sake. Because Edge of 3D, hello. Thank you for joining. James, hello. Thank you for joining. So, I mean, so much of this build feels really over-engineered for what it is. Like, I mean, so to be clear, to fit the electronics back panel to Mike's concentration phase, to fit the back panel to this frame is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's 14 fixing points, which feels like too many, if I'm honest. Like, it's only holding the electronics on. And it's not even really doing that because the electronics hold on to the actual board. Like, it's just seems like a lot. Just seems like a lot of fixings. So we will screw this panel in. And again, there's like a ridiculous amount of panel fixings for this one as well. Definitely need longer arms for this. Jesus. Right, okay. Base panel installed. Dels Logos, hello, sir. And now that camera's not working.
There you go.
So much for... There you go. Felt that's going to do that every like 20 minutes, which is really annoying. Anyway, I should put my mystery screws away for the moment. Everybody should have a box of mystery screws. The mystery screws are, I mean, they're every screw I could possibly need in a very difficult to find and all jumbled up box. They're really, really important. And the other week, I lost my box of very useful mystery screws. And I nearly had a panic attack. There's screws in there that they don't even make anymore.
Have you found it yet?
Pardon? Oh, yeah, I found it. I found it now. It was in a bag in the dining room where my wife had tidied it. And then she got annoyed at me like it was my fault I didn't look at it. Can you power a 24-volt printer with a 48-volt power supply? Well, so technically, yes, but you'd need a buck converter to put it from 48 down to 24. So you need to step the voltage down. It's in the ever-growing, I'll put these back in a proper bit. Oh, no, I've never had a proper box. Like, it's always been the mystery box. It's just good. Originally, stuff was really easy to find, and now it isn't really easy to find. Right, anyway, so that is the Z plate bit in. Brilliant. So now we start with... He said, quietly hoping he can figure out which one of these it is. We start with the front Z mount assembly. Well, I'm not being funny. I don't really see anything. Oh, okay, it's one of these. All right, that answers that question then. So we need M620s. M620s. Oh, these are ones you have to poke through as well. So some of these RatRig parts, when they come to you, I don't know if you'll see them on this. I don't know if you can see that in there, but you can see the holes look like they're printed solid. They're not. They've basically been bridged so that they don't have to worry about supporting the inside of the holes, I assume. So all you do is you push an Allen key through it, and then that should clean them out, and that should work. Same with this one. Same with this one. There we go. Cool. Right. So front Z motor mount assembly. Okay. So we take our M6s, push them through. Put on these. So as you will see from behind Mike at the moment, he is moving house, which means that of the, 8 projects that you had on the go, you're now not able to complete any of them. They're called sacrificial layers, so it bridges them in the slicer rather than support, as you mentioned. There we go, sacrificial layers. Because what did you have on the go? So you had the car, you did Loki.
Gandalf.
Oh, Gandalf, yeah. So for those who weren't aware, Mike is currently doing a life-size bust of Gandalf. And it's really cool and not finished. And I rather suspect it's going to stay that way for a while now, which is super annoying because it was going to be a really cool project to show you guys. But,
unless you finish your projects in time and then you can put it on for me.
Yeah, I probably could do.
I've literally got like 4 pieces left to print.
Of the Gandalf.
Yeah.
I reckon we can do that once. Right, so motor out. So, as Andrew alluded to, or Paul alluded to, sorry, we've got 2 of these. The giant print, yeah. Had to make sure my gardener left. Well, you fancy man. Right, so semi-files, Mike. I can print 1 or 2 of them. They're not that big, Carl. But yeah, we'll sort you out the link after this. So we've got what they're calling the pillow block, which goes that way up, and then we need M318s.
Before you say that, Carl, each piece is nearly 1 kilo of filament.
Yeah, it's not a small one.
Like I've literally done about 7 kilos so far.
1, 2. Right, so then we have to do the thrust bearing, which sounds like the sort of thing you might get arrested for doing on the train. My Thor hammer was just under 1 kilo. Yeah, so imagine doing 3 Thor hammers, I think is the point that he's making there, Carl.
About 50 hours each.
Yeah.
Each print.
Right, thrust bearing together. So, this goes here. This goes here. That goes here. This goes on first. We then can put in our M3s. Really need to try and sort out an overhead camera at some point so that we can show some more close-up detail of some of this stuff. I'm trying not to like really crank down on these because they are still just printed parts. Like they're really well printed.
What we would need was like another £750 camera then.
Okay.
I feel like that's the only thing that's stopping us from putting an overhead camera in.
Has anyone seen Igus dryline parts used on printers yet? No. No, I haven't. Do you mean Igus is in the high end? Don't forget to lube the bearing. Don't tell me how to live.
Stop watching my webcam.
Have I got any? Yes, I do. One second then. Okay. Lube the bearing. Drop that in. Sweet. And then this goes on top like that. Cool. 1 coupler done. Next one. The Igus drag. Oh, the Igus drag chains. Right. Sorry, I thought you were talking about. So there's an engineering grade filament called Igus. They make like really high end engineering grade filament. It's a lot. and they're really expensive. They're like £250 a kilo, but they're all like fire retardant stuff. So I have seen people who have fitted drag chains to these, but I don't know how much modification you have to do to fit them. I've got drag chains, and I feel like I'd like to use them because I just feel like drag chains look cleaner, and you sort of, well, I feel like you get better. I feel like you get better performance out of drag chains, but like the ones that are in the Vcore are brilliant. Like they really came out. They went on really nicely. Right. Lube this. Drop that on. There we go. And then drop that on. There we go. Right. Front bearings done. So let's pull this back to here. Yep. And then assemble the back one. So back one. We have two. Should be getting my X1 carbon and my Mighty 8K in August. Yes, I have on the Vcore. Oh, okay. So Paul's might have been the one that I saw, actually, to be honest with you. I think drag chains look way better. I think they just set off a printer nicer, personally, but it just makes the printer look finished, if you know what I mean. So Non-Stick's saying he should be getting his X1 and his Mighty 8K in August. So I'll be honest, I'm not that excited about the Mighty 8K. Like it's an 8K machine, and that's really cool. But we've got some other plans for oh, if I just put these in the wrong holes. Oh, you knob. All right, we'll pull those out then. Yeah, we've got another agent that's sending us one of their 8Ks that they're bringing out, and we're not allowed to. We're under NDA, so we're not allowed to say who it is yet. But it's the whole package. Like, do you know what I mean? It's everything you could want from in my opinion, everything you could want from a resin printer. And I'm really, really excited to get my hands on it. We'll be the only people who see it. We'll be the only channel that is reviewing it. So we'll either go really well or it will not. It's they're really the only two options. Right, I'm supposed to have another. There we go, another one of these. Third motor. All right, this goes in here like this. That goes on there like that. Screw this in first. So do you not screw the coupler needs to rest on? Oh, right, okay, that's just saying the same thing as the other ones. This one's got like adjustment moving backwards and forwards. Is it not the Elegoo Saturn 2 8K? It is not. Elegoo have had some really bad quality control issues, especially with their last couple of launches. And and they trust the guy who keeps losing his nuts on screen. Yeah, absolutely. And I want to be clear, there's only two of these machines that exist. One of them's theirs, and one of them's the one they're sending us. Like, it's terrifying. I'm actually concerned. Like, it's so irresponsible. of them, to be honest with you. It's very, very irresponsible. But we're very proud to be a part of the launch. But yeah, be an interesting one. Could all go horribly wrong. Who knows? It's only only something someone's worked on for the last few years of their life. They've not seen their kids, that kind of stuff, or in an attempt for us to see it. And
or probably any of our videos.
yeah. And then we'll see whether or not we break it, which, to be honest with you, we could do. Like it's happened a lot of times before. Oh, wow. I'm just throwing the couplers on the floor now. I haven't scratched that. Oh, that's all right. Right. Nice and solid on there. Okay. Attach the Z drivers along a resin printer. Oh, and the drop shot game begins. Yep, pretty much. That's how I live. So this one. Well, now hold on. Oh, okay. So what that screws in? Oh, well, that's very annoying. So this one goes.
I am selling my Gufu Mido though, if anyone wants it.
Yes, I saw that. It came up on my little feed. I was really surprised that you were going to sell that in the end, but I assume it's just space in the new place, isn't it?
It's a bit of space, but I just don't use it. I don't print ABS.
Yeah.
I don't print high temp materials. So because of that, even I don't really use it because I use the printers with the bigger beds anyway. So
yeah.
Just don't really get used.
It's too good a printer to have laying about.
Just getting dusty.
Not doing anything. Oh.
I'm selling my Gufu Mido, the one that so it has a normal hot end on it, but you can swap it over to a 400-degree hot end. Comes with a magnetic bed and a carbon fibre bed. And it's fully enclosed.
It is indeed fully enclosed, yeah. So we did a review on it, and
it can't be shipped because it weighs the same as the Moon.
Yeah. Yeah, it weighs the same as a small family sedan. Like, you can't ship it. I'll say this: the black is an immediate magnet for
everything else.
Yeah, for everything in here that's not black.
Yeah, it's got a really posh carbon fibre bed for when you're doing high temperature materials.
Yeah. So it works really good if you're printing engineering grade, but it's a machine that was really designed to print engineering grade materials. So if you aren't, it is a little bit.
It's
a little bit wasted, isn't it?
Don't know if I've got a tape measure here because everything's packed.
All right. And then this one slots in the back here. Oh, well, that's quite difficult to slot in, isn't it? Well, how are you meant to do that?
What?
It just doesn't like. Oh, we going this way? No. It doesn't fit with the screws in it. They told me to put the screws in. It said in the guide, wrong order.
It's a 250 by 250 build plate.
Is that the build volume? No, I don't know that it is.
No, the build volume I think is probably a bit higher.
Well, it can't be
I'd have to watch the video again.
Can't be higher than the build plate. Like,
No, no, I think it's 250 by 250 by 300. I'd have to watch the video on it to tell you what it is.
Or you could just type it into Google and look it up.
That's a lot, though, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you are selling it, so it does feel like you need to know something about it.
Let's have a look. That's interesting.
What is?
Your search Goofoo, Mido.
Yielded no results.
Well, let's have a look.
Making you work, Mike. Yeah.
Yeah. I was busy shopping for a new fish tank.
You're busy shopping for what?
New fish tank.
Oh, for God. Do not buy a fish tank. Apart from the fact that Lauren will go absolutely Garrity at you.
It's going to happen whatever I do, so might as well.
Yeah, that is fair. She is angry at you 90% of the times that I've spoken to her.
The build volume is 200 by 200 by 200.
Oh, okay. So not even close to what you said then.
Yeah. I haven't got a tape measure.
Okay, so don't just guess.
Well, I did guess, and I was wrong.
Don't just go, yeah, I reckon it's this. Let's see if we can. There we go. That's a bit better. Now we can see properly. Right. Motors installed there. Just noticed that this part of the panel is loose.
And that's all the work I'm doing.
That's all the information you can have. Anything else, you'll just have to figure out for yourselves. Right, okay, fine. So that's installed there. And then we need to get... Yeah. In the final steps of the Z assembly, you need to adjust their XY positions to ensure they're parallel to the rails. Well, you haven't fit the rails yet? Oh, all right, I see. That makes more sense. Okay, so just need to turn this round for a moment so that I can. Okay, so that's not in there, so because that's moving about. Yeah. Well, that's a problem, isn't it? So what? I feel like I'm using the wrong length screws for this, which is absolutely possible. What would the other options be? So this needs to come out for a second. So what? Just supposed to put... I don't think we've got any other M6s though. Well, to the special box. I don't actually know if I've got the right size M6s in here either, which is very upsetting.
It's nice and toasty in here at the minute.
Have you got the garage door open again?
Yep.
And it's still boiling hot?
Yeah.
Jesus. Hi, how are you? Oh, hi, Matt. Right, I have one of the box of mini screws. I have two of the box of mini screws, and I have T-nuts. Look at that. It's like I was prepared for this.
It also looks like Brad and Leo are guarding your box of mini screws.
Of mini screws. Well, it's on the off chance she comes in and takes them away again. Like, I can't have that. So for anyone who hasn't already seen that video, these are the...
And if you haven't seen that video yet, it means you haven't listened to my amazing choice of music for the close-ups.
So these are the two busts that Mike did. Now, ignore the bust quality because it's not really top-notch, but you can tell the difference straight away that this was dry brushed and layered, and this was layered with an airbrush. And the difference between the two is astonishing. They're both painted really well. I really like the way that Mike managed to get them to both come out. But the look of Brad on them,
it's because I spent 2 years thinking about how I was going to paint them.
Well, yeah, you did take a while, to be fair.
2 years.
Yeah, it was ages. I'm not denying that at all. It was absolutely ages. Some might say too long, but what do they know?
No, I was just contemplating my choices of paint colours.
That's not going to go in there. So. All right, let's try this again, shall we?
Yeah, you was never going to find it non-stick as me go no go.
Is that what he was looking for? Migu. All right. Screw that one in. Screw that one in. I was saying to Mike earlier, I've been watching that new Chris Pratt TV show, The Terminal List. Oh, it is really good. So how long is the T800 taking? Well, it's done. I have absolutely no inclination to show it to anybody, but it is done. So we'll have to sort out that go into its new home soon so that I can get it out of here and never think about it ever again. It's really been one of those projects where I've just hated it. It was the first time that we'd done a private commission as a channel, and I'll never do another one. I'll never do another one. It was terrible. I hated doing all of it. I hated doing. Well, yeah, there literally wasn't a part of it that I didn't overtly and actively hate. It was I hated.
And then it was smashed to pieces in a storm.
And then it was smashed to pieces in the storm, like
which I got covered in glue repairing.
Yeah, it's just one of those where it just didn't the whole project just didn't come out the way I wanted it to. And the thing that's frustrating is that, like, in an ideal world, I would have, if it was just for me, I probably would have been all right with the way a lot of it sort of looked in the end. I probably would have been like, well, it's not my favorite, but I don't hate it. But like, because it's for somebody else, it's like, I just don't like it. Well, this is absolutely not working. So why is that? Oh, always fun. Trying to do this half blind as well. The problem is where it tells you to slide the things in, you can't really, because this is like, Oh, they're just not long enough, that's why. You can't really slide the T-nuts in because now the panel's on here, you can't see the channel. So I just need to see if I've got some. Yeah. Got one. I literally heard it turn off then as well. I have to figure out why it's doing that at some point, but that's that.
So in my computer just started playing a video.
Okay. So we are also getting one of the Bamboo Labs printers. And I'm kind of in like two minds about how excited about it I want to get. Like, obviously, I want to get excited about it because it's a really cool machine. But at the same time,
Thanks a lot, Non-Stick. That's really good here.
Thank you very much, Non-Stick. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we don't. I'm trying not to get really excited about the Bamboo because I don't want it to turn up and it be a disappointment, which is what we've turned the sleep mode off. You can't on the Canon. I've installed Lantern on it, or Magic Lantern, but I need to sort it out because it's clearly not working the way that it should do. Yeah, so as I say, we've got one of the Bamboo Labs coming. We're trying not to get like silly excited about it because we've gotten really excited about printers before and then they've not turned out to be amazing. Towards that.
Yeah, I only need about another 150 of them, Carl. That'll pay for me tank.
So you're going to get a stupidly sized one as well, aren't you? Like, it's going to be massive. I can tell already.
No, it's not going to be massive.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it will be.
It's better to go smaller with higher quality than bigger and lower quality.
Problem is that I know you and I know what's going to end up happening. You're going to be like, oh, well, I mean, if I'm going in, I might as well get one that I can get all the fish that I want. And
yeah, but you're talking the difference between like $2,500 and $5,000.
I'm aware of that. The question is could you convince Lauren that it didn't cost that much? Because I rather suspect that if you can, after that, it's just something you're going to go and do anyway.
Lauren would have no idea. If I said it was £200 or 10 grand, she wouldn't have any idea.
It's that age-old saying, isn't it? It's the my worst fear is that when I die, my wife will sell my printers for what I told her I paid for them.
Yeah.
And the same goes to the fish tank.
I haven't got fish at the minute. Mine tech. I haven't had fish for about 10 years.
Done. Right. So, linear rails. They're next. So the MGN centering tool. Wow. Oh, there we go. This one. Not green. Right. Identify and prepare your rails.
That's not the fish Non-Stick. That's just the empty tank and the equipment.
Sorry, 2.5 bags is literally just the
equipment.
That is. What do you mean?
It's just the hardware. That's it.
Mate, that is wrong. So there's one 400mm for the 2020 extrusion, two 350s.
So no, that's that's a 4-foot tank stand and equipment at the minute. That's what I've found. But I've actually got someone coming round to me in like a week or so's time who's going to quote me to build and install one as well.
So we've gone from a conversation the other day, which was like,
I'd already made up my mind
getting a
that
fish
conversation
tank
the other day. I'd already made up my mind.
Right.
What I'll do is just casually drop it into conversations over the next few weeks. And then bam, there'll be a fish
she
tank.
notices.
And then bam, there'll be a fish tank.
Yeah, she's gonna go Garrity. She's gonna really. I mean, to be clear, she does say a lot of hurtful things anyway. But I think this might tip her over the edge. I think this might be the thing that actually kills you. Oh, that's a good question.
I think she needs me to pay the bills though, so.
Well, she could do a decent job with your oh, it's down there. She could do a decent job with what I'm assuming is a relatively hefty life insurance policy. Battling Cobra. Hi guys, Ben from 3D Philippine here. Did some investigating and watched your video and now have a bottle of Replaflow on the way. Yeah. So, for those who haven't seen our video yet, if you are printing... pardon?
Why haven't you?
What? Yeah, first of all, shame on you. Second of all, the video was about was from Replaflow, and it was a little clickbaity, I'll admit, but it's how to get the perfect finish on your FDM prints. And the answer is to use Replaflow. So Replaflow works very similar to there's another product on the market called XTC 3D, but it just I've tried it and it just doesn't work anywhere near as well. The Replaflow stuff though, just
easy to use.
It's so easy. You stick in a little bit of activator and then off you fly, and it's really, really good. You coat it on. I think we're going to see that on BBC that Mike might get murdered. Probably.
I haven't got life insurance. She needs me to pay the bills.
Or you think you haven't got life insurance. That's the problem. You'll find the paperwork laying about at some point. And you'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, this is this is super alarming. Right, so all the screws appear to be the same.
Cobra, if it's up on the second floor again, we won't be going anyway.
Brilliant. These are all the 30/30 ones. So then we should have some of these M3s for the 20. Right. Preparing the rails. So one of these rails is they're quite long. Are they meant to be that long? M312s. That's what we got out. Okay.
Oh, they are doing it again then, Cobra.
If it's shit, you're not being invited. Look, mate, I can tell you. I was going to say, if it ain't on the first floor, if it ain't on the ground floor, we ain't coming anyway. Like, so for those who attended, we obviously went to the Cos Print on Sea event, which was great, and it was wonderful to see a bunch of local makers and all of that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, there were a couple of technical glitches, I suppose. Where,
one being an incredibly hot weekend, 2, it being on the second floor, and 3, the lift's breaking.
None of those things were ideal, I would agree. They were all.
But what I said was factually correct. I want also, don't forget that the windows only opened 1 inch.
Yeah.
Apart from the windows next to us, it didn't open any inches.
That was pretty terrible, if I'm honest. I didn't like that. that was probably the worst bit for me.
Yeah, they had 3 lifts, but all 3 of them were broken.
Right, so all of these rails that come from RatRig have got bumper rails on the end of them. So I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but they've got bumper rails to stop this carriage from sliding off. I'm going to leave those on there for the time being. after the last time, where I confidently exclaimed to the world that I'd be able to get it back on no problem. And then had to end the stream because I definitely couldn't.
Yeah, and we ordered new rails.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Oh, that's very annoying. So I thought it was. Oh no, it's okay because it should just be for a different one. No, it can't because these have got the. On the X rail, you use shorter screws. So I'll just take all of these off. Very annoying.
But I'll argue that, yeah, we are doing a 2023, but can't say anything else. You pretty much said it all. In 2023, you're doing cost print on C again.
you have said quite a lot, to be fair.
You've basically outlined everything there.
Yeah, you've definitely said more. Oh, okay, and now my Chrome has just reset itself, and now I don't have the guide up anymore. That's great. Oh, I'll tell you why, because I pressed that button. That was stupid.
This is the 3rd live stream.
Yeah. How long have we been building it? Well, this is the 3rd live stream. So the first was the frame. The second was the idlers and everything else. Then it's just taken us longer to be able to get the panels cut, which obviously you were there at the Hackspace the other night. So that took us a lot longer than we wanted it to. But
probably about 4 hours.
Yeah, probably. But there's no denying that doing one of these builds, it's long. Like, it takes a long time. It's a big printer. You have to do everything in exactly the right sequence, because if you don't, it makes your life very, very difficult. We were actually chatting to the Hackspace about whether or not they wanted to start making panel kits to sell in the UK, so that they would be able to take the money they made and reinvest back into the into the community space that they run.
Just basically a charity.
Yeah, it's basically run as a charity. It's run as a community space. People have membership fees that they pay. They only pay about £5 a month. And all that money gets funneled back into buying new equipment, buying new tools, all that kind of stuff. It's really good. I am going to install every single one of these as well. Under normal circumstances, I might have sort of skipped over a few of them, but with the speeds that we want to try and push this at, I am clamping this down to within an inch of its life, I think.
Well, the Hackspace that we went to, I could spend hours in the...
You were really enamoured with the wood space, weren't you?
Yeah.
Was it just that it reminded you of the of your cabinet making days, or was it more just
the workshop I lost?
You just miss working with wood?
Yeah.
The laser system was quite impressive, to be honest. I was quite surprised at how sort of what I was surprised at. So they've got a CO2 laser, and it's quite big. Like, it will do a 7. So we had a 600mm by 1 meter panel, and it just about fitted inside the enclosure. So it was a big machine.
And it was Timmy tight. It was like a couple of mil either side.
Yeah. It just fit in. But what I was surprised at is they were still using Lightburn. Hey, 3DP UK. I think I was binge watching 3DP UK. I think I was binge watching your TikTok the other night. I didn't even realise.
Cobra, I just wish it was closer to me.
Well, you're the one who chose to live where you live, mate. That's your choice.
I chose to live where I've always lived.
Okay, it's not my problem.
I didn't have a choice in that. This is where I grew up.
Yes, you did. You had loads of choices. You could live wherever you want. Why have I run out of... You could have moved here anytime you wanted to. You chose to live where you live. Are there any spares in there? RatRig V-Core spare parts. Yes, there are. Lightburn is great. Yeah, I mean, I was just really surprised. I don't know. I was just surprised that bit of software worked for something that, I mean, I don't know why I was surprised really, because there's no specific reason why it wouldn't work on a bigger laser. I guess I just assumed that once you got to sort of like big lasers like that, they would come with proprietary software that would, I think the house next neighbor in the hack space is for sale. There you go, Mike, sorted. All you got to do now is move house.
I don't want a 40-minute drive to work every day.
Well, I literally can't help you then. I mean, if you're not willing to make sacrifices.
No, I want them to move it closer to me.
Right. That's probably unlikely. That is probably unlikely. Oh God, I've got so many bolts to put in. This is terrible. All right. But yeah, they had loads of stuff there, and it was a really nice space.
Ali G's from Slough.
Ali G is from Slough. That's very true. He is.
Slough massive.
Was it from Slough? Yeah, maybe. All right. I'll just believe you. I can't remember. Oh, this is getting so
but
cagey.
non-stick, I'm incredibly lazy.
That is true. Every time Mike has a PC issue, rather than Googling it, he just immediately makes me team viewer onto his machine so I can do it remotely.
And plus, with the price of petrol now, it cost me about 60 quid to go there.
That is true, yeah.
That's right, he was Staines, not Slough.
Staines, that was
Staines
it.
massive.
Yes. I saw someone, as soon as Boris Johnson submitted his resignation, someone did the meme, didn't they? Just being like, there's only one person who can save the nation now, and it's just Ali G stepping out of a car in front of
Cobra. Why would we need blackjack?
What's that? Oh Lord, there's no proprietary software. Truly awful. Yeah.
No,
so mine CT. You are right. Like it is like proprietary software isn't any better necessarily. I guess the thing that I was expecting that you don't get with Lightburn is I was expecting a bunch of like predefined profiles. So I was expecting it to be like you go in and you say, right, I'm cutting wood at 12 millimeters, and then it goes through and it sets up the settings for you. Like I think Glowforge has it. I think Glowforge's software does that, where it's literally you say, right, I'm cutting acrylic or I'm etching acrylic. The acrylic is however deep it is, and it spits out some settings. that you can adjust, but you have a baseline to work from rather than just guessing. So I guess I was just kind of expecting that. That'd be great. Yeah, most laser systems would be like that. Here you go, trying to burn it to the ground. Yeah, so I suppose the difference is that a Glowforge, that when Glowforge do it, they know where they're starting from. So they know the power of the Glowforge laser and all that stuff. They know where they're starting. And I guess that they've got safety settings and all that sort of stuff. So I suppose from their perspective, it's a bit more controllable. But that's where I want to get to. I want to get to a place where I say, "Oh, this is my material. This is, this is what I want to do. I'm cutting it, or I'm cutting it, or I'm etching it, or whatever." And then you just, yeah. Oh, this is going to take so long. This is going to be 4 hours of the build, just me doing this. I'm not going to have any fingers left at the end of it.
Yeah, it's not interesting.
Well, sorry, I can't do anything about it. It takes ages. Like, there's so many. The problem is like if you don't do all of these, then I mean, okay, you could miss out one or two, I suppose, and you'd probably get away with it. But once you've installed them, that's it. Do you know what I mean? It's just there's no going back and redoing them later on. And if your rail starts to move about because you're pushing,
yeah, you didn't lube the carriages.
Yeah. Pardon? Opinions on the Vcore so far. So, I mean, so far, I would say the kit has been easier to build.
So far, it's a big box.
So far, it's a big box. So far, it's probably been the instructions are better than the Voron. But the reality is obviously until we actually get it printing, it's going to be impossible to say whether or not the machine is good or bad. The instructions are really good. I like the fact that you're getting all your component parts from a supplier who you can at least trust has gone out and sourced the right ones. So one of the things that is a little bit annoying about the Voron is if I put on a Kev Novo bed, that's a Voron. If I put on a Mosquito, that's a Voron. If I put on a Dragon, that's a Voron. If I don't use the BTT Octopus, I decide to use the Spider board or whatever, that's a Voron. And there's so much variety that it means that, which is great because it means you can tinker and customize. But it does mean if you're newer to the hobby and you're just trying to set the thing up, it's actually really difficult to try and get support because everyone's like, well, yours could be completely different.
It's not even a good storage box non-stick because whatever you put in there just fall out.
Yeah. It's a terrible cupboard at the moment. I don't really like the idea of on a plastic defense. Yeah, so I'll be honest, my 2.4 has been really, really good. I decided in my infinite wisdom to upgrade the tool head to the new stealth burner. And I have had a lot of issues with that. I haven't had any issues with my XY gantry. The caveat to that is that on the 2.4, you are limited as to how high a build volume you can go up to. So I've got the 350 cube, but although I've got the 350 cube, you can't go any higher than that, really. Like the 350 really is the maximum build volume you can do, because you go any higher and you'll start to stretch the belts.
Edge of 3D from the chocolate printer we've reviewed, you'd probably be best off just chewing it up in your mouth and spitting it into a shape.
I would genuinely rather that LuckyBot had just come round and spat directly in my face.
Some chewed up chocolate, because it would have looked exactly the same as what came out of that extruder.
I would have wasted less time. I'd have been less angry.
And you'd have wasted less chocolate and spent less time being covered in chocolate.
Yeah. I was so, and so it begins dropping the screws. That's the first one I've dropped. The other one was a bearing. That was slightly more dangerous. Like it was just garbage. Like everyone knows it's garbage. There's a pretty decent chocolate printer at Murph. Well, it can't be any worse than that one. If chocolate comes out of it, it's already better. To be fair, I think LuckyBot actually do. I think LuckyBot actually do a proper chocolate printer, in the sense that it is a printer designed from the ground up to print chocolate, and I believe that actually works okay.
Instead of just plugging a large flashlight onto an end of 3.
Yeah. It was just it was the worst. It was just the worst. They're one of the only companies as well that has reached out to us afterwards. And actually said, we will pay you to take your video down.
Oh no, there was someone else recently.
Oh yeah, there was. Yeah. No, they didn't offer to pay us, to be fair.
No, they didn't offer to pay. They were just begging.
They just said, "Can you take it down because it's hurting our sales?" And I said, "No,
please,
take it down. Like you're hurting us." And I was like, "Okay, we'll just try harder." But yeah, LuckyBot messaged us, and they said we'll pay you to take your chocolate printer video down, and we'll send you a new Ender 3 and a new what's that? They tried to give them the LuckyBot and they refused to take it. They were like, nope, no, thank you. Yeah, so we they messaged us and they said, "Oh, look, we'll send you a new Ender 3, we'll send you a new LuckyBot," which felt like a threat. And they were like, "The new one's better. We've made a bunch of engineering changes." And I was like, "That doesn't sound like that's true, but whatever." And we'll pay you to take the video down. And I said, "Look, I'm going to be honest with you."
I think we asked for £50,000, didn't we?
What I said was that for £250,000 they could buy our channel, and then they could take down the video if they wanted to. So 250 grand would have bought the channel, and my last video on the channel would have been telling everybody never to I'd have just deleted the channel. I wouldn't have even, and then I just started another one, and the first video I'd have uploaded would have been in that LuckyBot being crap. That'd have been the first video that I uploaded. And the second video would have just been me eating a completely whole chocolate bar. whilst fanning myself with 250 grand. So we're now owned by LuckyBot. Absolutely not. Asking for an update video on improved hardware, sure, but asking to delete the old one, yeah, that's sketchy. It absolutely is. And it crystallized for me the reason why we just said we will have absolutely nothing to do with you anymore. Because then they said if we take it down, they'll send us one of their resin printers, which are actually supposed to be quite good. So Weebooks make resin printers as well. I think they've got one called the Light 120 or something. But yeah, So they then said, "Oh, we'll send you one of those." And I was like, "You can't bribe us into taking down the video. Make a better product." And they obviously declined to do that. So so the video stays. Like, there's just nothing I'm gonna do about it. I tried to explain to them. I said, look, it's a lofty title, but effectively we're journalists. Oh, good. That camera's turned off again. This is going to get old. I said, effectively we are journalists. And the only thing that this channel has...
And we know that's true, because when we went to TMC, we got journalist passes.
TCT, yeah.
TCT. Sorry.
We did get journalist passes. That was a big day.
I've been watching too many videos.
And they let us in early. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, are you press?" We was like, "Yes, we are." And they were like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you can come in now." And I was like, "Of course we can. We're incredibly important." So I actually really annoyed with him. Like he was suggesting something really silly. But of course I can come in early. What do you mean? We didn't go this year, no. We went last year. We didn't bother this year. To be honest, the TCT now
wasn't really worth going last year.
Paul Lawson, yes, I now possess the infamous. So to be honest, Edutech, Edge of 3D, sorry, I kind of sent you that just to mess with you. I was really hoping that you were going to try and get it out of the box. To TM, yeah, we did. And Michelangelo came along afterwards. And he was like, "Oh, I really like 3D printing. You're doing really good stuff. Cowabunga, dude, all that stuff." Yeah, good.
No, I actually said TMC.
Oh, did you? Oh, that's wrong.
Yeah, which is
wrong.
A big
truck,
fish,
isn't it?
It's a big fish warehouse where they sell to all the aquarium like trade.
You just got fish on the brain.
No, not really. I forged a this week. I forged all my details so that I could get an account now.
Right. Knowing our luck, their managing director watches the channel. You realise that?
He'll be really impressed then, because it's the second time I've done it.
Excellent. Yeah, so TCT. Oh, I'm going to put it on a printer. I just haven't had the time. Too many projects on the books. I wouldn't make the time for it, mate. Like you'd really be wasting a lot of your valuable time. Like, you'll get nothing out of it.
No.
Last one. This has been really fun for me, guys. I just want you to know that. I didn't even want this printer. Turned into a real lot of work.
Yes, you did. You was excited about it for so long.
I was, and then I saw how many pieces it came in, and my excitement waned significantly. Like, it's waning a lot right now. I don't think I've got enough T-nuts for this. And I haven't used them for anything else, so it's not like I've... there's a little...
Mindtech. I think it's because for the last couple of years, since COVID, hardly any of the Chinese companies have come over.
Yeah, I mean, the TCT for me, it just had a really industrial focus. So, like, HP, I think it was HP, just had massive stands. And I was like, why? Like, what could you possibly be? I mean, okay. I mean, I guess if they're able to, to make one sale out of it, then probably with the average value of an account with them, maybe it's a lot, and maybe it makes it worthwhile. But my God, like it just seemed like so much effort had gone in on their part, and I just couldn't seem to wrap my head around why bother. I just couldn't get that far. Well, we're breaking into the spares at this point, which is kind of annoying because I didn't think we'd have to do that unless I dropped things. There is a fairly big bag of spares, but I would have expected that.
We should join the Lucky Bot.
I've tried
page on Facebook.
They're
I'll
banned
join. If I join and post that video again, they might start upping the offer.
me. The offer stands £250,000, and they can buy the whole channel, and then we'll start again. That'll be, and then we'll call ourselves Honey Bidgers. But we'll spell it the same.
Honey Badger Attack Squad.
Yeah. Or Honey Badger 3D paint and print.
Yeah.
I'll join and do some quiet recon. I can assure you there'd be no point. It'll just be everybody going, this doesn't work, and them going, yeah, we know.
Just post that video on there and see what they say.
That's what everybody should do. Everyone should.
Yeah, everyone should just join it and post that video.
Paul, just to be clear, I think I have got enough parts, but I had to use. So there's a little bag that comes here that literally says spare parts, and I've had to use that. So it's not a big deal, just a little annoying, I suppose. All right, almost there. Last one. Thank God. Starting to get repetitive strain injury on this. All right. Okay, so I've still got to tighten all these up once I fit them now. That's very upsetting.
Yeah, go on, do it, mate.
What's that? You want me to do it? Go for it. I don't care. Right, attaching the Z-rail. So we've got one. Had Joel demonstrate the Prusa Farm whistle maker and didn't even realise who he was until afterwards. Oh no, being recognised is Joseph's whole thing. That's his whole shtick. He must have been so angry. Oh dear. Right, so how do I know that they are in? So are we saying we just go like that, and then we've got this which aligns it. So what you've got here, right, is you've got this printed part. There we go. This printed part here, which slots over the 30-30 extrusions, and what it does is it makes sure that when you're screwing this in, you keep the panel, you keep the rail aligned with the extrusion as it needs to be, and then that way you know.
There's only ever been 6 posts on their Facebook page.
Are any of them any good?
No. 2 of them was when they were born and started a new job at Weeboots. A picture of some chocolate, a landscape.
What? No, that can't be the right one.
It's Lucky Bot Weeboots group, 138 people in it.
Is there not like a community group or something? Can't just be 138 people. They had more than that backed him. Oh God.
And the only actual post someone's made is Daniel from Makers Hub.
Oh, okay. Done a great job at creating a community then.
Oh, wait. No, I might have found a 3rd page now. Oh, this might...
How many people are in that?
No, this is a page, not a group.
Oh, what, a business page?
Yeah.
Hey, Sinister RC. He was only chatted for a bit, and then he got an ad on Twitter. Guess the 13 months of membership helped. Fair enough. Oh, right. One. Have I got knocking about? No, I haven't. Oh, I have. Oh, this is going to be terrible. Right, everyone's going to hate me for doing this. And some people are going to scream, and I rather suspect one of them's Paul. But in a vain hope to try and save my... well, I'm going to put it on the lowest setting I've got. and see what happens. Because, yeah. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it quickly before Paul says hurtful things. Of which I'm sure he's already got, like, he's already furiously typing. He's like, no, don't do that. Let's see what happens. I'm predicting only good things. Now, the question is on the sides, are you supposed to give any clearance? It doesn't look like you are. No, that can't be right. Hold on.
Thanks a lot, 3DP UK.
Thank you very much, 3DP. Measure the space between the side. Yeah, fine. The rails should not rest on the motor mount, but instead be approximately 1 millimeter above. Okay.
1 millimeter.
It does feel a touch arbitrary, doesn't it? A millimeter above. This is too long. The size of a credit card. Grab yourself a beer. Do you know what? I was thinking maybe a big electric screwdriver, not a big drill. That's because you don't dream big enough, Paul. That's your problem. You're a man limited by your own imaginations. I don't suffer from that. And as a result, I also don't have a bottle opener with me.
Use your teeth.
Use my what?
Teeth.
Yeah, I've already cracked them on a grenade pin. I don't need to crack them on that. Yeah, that's just going to go everywhere again. This seems like a really fun... That was nearly... Like, we all saw that and nearly stabbed yourself in the face. I think adding beer to this is only going to make it go faster, to be honest with you. Oh, immediately my level of bravery has gone through the roof.
Probably when I've got somewhere to paint, Carl. So the place I'm moving into, the garage has got to have a new roof, electrics run to it, new doors, and then be refurbed inside. So it's not going to be quick.
The thing is, it didn't take us that long to set up your old place. But to be fair, it already had
A roof and electric.
had power in the garage, didn't it? See, all you guys really enjoyed that print and paint. I threw away the model that I did. It was terrible.
Let's be honest, though. You threw it away because it was big and you couldn't be bothered doing it.
It took up so much space. Hello, Mr. Henshaw.
That's brave talk, Matt, considering you don't drink.
That's not true. When we had his bachelor too, he had that thing. I can't remember even what it was.
A sex on the beach.
Yes, it was. Yeah. Because when I asked for it, the person who I was ordering it from giggled.
And that weren't just because she was looking at Matt.
Which really told me all I needed to know about the establishment. Oh, I know. Okay, so why has that happened? Poor, blimey. Okay. Okay, well, we're going to have to take that off. I reckon this is how they do it on a space shuttle, you know. They just use the tools that they have. Or the wrong ones. What are you drilling for?
Victory.
Okay, so we might as well come clean about this. The reason I'm drilling is because I'm too lazy to sit and screw in every single one of these by hand. So instead, I'm using a power drill to screw in these rails. Which, when you say it out loud, I'll not lie, does sound a lot worse than I initially realised it was. Put it on the minimum clutch. Oh, I have. I know how to drill things.
I think we found what one of our streams turned out to be the most boring stream.
Just me drilling it. Just me drilling a bunch of linear rails on. I mean, I'm not being funny. That has gone on perfectly, and zero wiggle on any of them. Well done, me. I've nailed this. Where's that gone? Oh, there it is. Okay, fine. Right, so that's them. That's the Z rails. Now we attach the Y rails. Attach the Y rails to both sides of the printer. Use the 30-30 corner brackets in the back as reference. The rails should touch the bracket. What? So these are the 30-30s. these go in like...
Of course he ain't sinister.
What's that? What haven't I done?
Screwed every other screw in order to screw it evenly.
Do you know what? Everyone's a critic, right? Up until the point where you got to fit stuff. You're at least going every other screw to ensure it's tightened evenly. It's super. It's in there. What you want? I don't understand what anyone's problem is. See, that's very interesting because this. Oh, Michael! Oh no!
What have you done?
Oh, this is terrible.
Have you put the panel on the wrong way?
No. Oh,
You've
God.
dropped the carriage has come off.
No. Yeah, I've done exactly what I thought I had. What an absolute melon. So
You put the wrong one on.
I have put the X-axis rails on the front of the Z. What a horrendous person. Oh, God.
As if watching you drill wasn't captivating enough. Now it's got even more boring where you're drilling behind a black screen.
Well, I'm not showing everybody my failure. What an absolute melon. What? Like, you know what? As I was putting them on, I was like, oh, these are too short. These look too short. They're shorter than the back one. And it never even occurred to me to go, oh, yeah, well, you should definitely check to make sure you put the right ones on, obviously. That might be one of the most irritating things I've ever done.
I don't know. That
I
noise.
was so confidently sipping that beer as well. Like I was sipping that beer like it was a victory beer. What haven't I done enough? Oh God. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, the first one came off so easily. Why doesn't this one come off so easily? Oh my God, come on.
Thanks a lot, non-stick.
What's that? Entertaining stream. Thanks very much, non-stick. This is this is just for the sheer production values. There we go. I got it off. That's honestly, that's so annoying. That's so irritated. Oh, why do these things happen to me? Like, I haven't done anything to deserve that. I mean, admittedly, I was using a drill when maybe I shouldn't have been using a drill, but that doesn't really feel like a reason to like turn me into a national joke.
Yeah, 3DP. Why would you watch other streams when you could just watch James hiding behind a large black bit of perspex?
Well, you can say things like it's not just me on here.
There's nothing visual.
Oh, okay, hold on. I'll turn it round so you can see the thing that I'm doing. But like, I can assure you that it's even less interesting once you can see the drill moving about. The idea of introducing the drill.
You were hiding behind it like a pervert.
Pardon?
You were hiding behind it like a pervert.
I'm not being funny. This drill's getting hot. Did you see the new trailer drop for
Lord of the Rings?
For the Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, watched it earlier.
Oh,
2nd of September. Good. It's nearly here.
Yeah.
I've only waited like 2.5 years.
I've been waiting 20. Like, I knew it was going to make a good... I knew... Well, I say that. I didn't know that someone was going to make a TV series out of it. I knew that we would end up... or somebody would end up... like, making something else. I tell you what, though, I'm really surprised at if you watch the. You've sold me on buying a Vcore. What? Just because of how terribly I've assembled it? That seems like a bold statement. Yeah, I was watching Lord of the Rings, the originals, the other days, and it's astonishing to me that they're still like they're now 20 years old.
And it still holds up.
Yeah. They're still astonishingly good films.
It's because they never use CGI characters.
And I hope they follow suit with this stuff. No pressure, but I put up my 14 by 12 foot log cabin. Oh, well, that's much bigger parts. Like, you can't hold me to that. Like, if you put it up if it's all made out of 30-30 extrusions, then fair enough. But, like, if you're using logs... Watch the original. It's 45 years old.
Yeah.
Right. Good. 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 And let's just check. Yeah. 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 Cool. Right. That was honestly, that was just so annoying. I'm angry at myself. I'm also angry at Mike, but I'm angry at myself more than anything else. You're supposed to be the voice of reason on this channel, Mike. So really,
no, I'm just there to call you out when you're being a dick.
That's fair. Cool. That one's done. I think I've owned a beer. Has anyone seen the new Thor? Mike, you saw the new Thor the other day, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to see it. It's a good film. It's funny. But I actually preferred Ragnarok.
See, I wasn't a big fan of Ragnarok for the sole reason of Thor was never funny. What was funny about him in the comics was that he didn't understand any sort of human culture. That was the point, right? That he was a Norse god, and as a result, he didn't He didn't get anything that was being talked about and things like that. That was where there was a little bit of humour. But he spent what, like 2,000 or 3,000 years on Olympus as a god, and then he spends 3 weekends on Earth, and all of a sudden he's now playing Xbox and COD. Like, it'd be like you going to Scotland for a weekend and then rejecting all vegetables. Just completely immersing yourself in the culture.
I haven't got to go to Scotland. I could quite easily do that here.
Oh, even the camera's giving up. I feel like
I thought that the new Doctor Strange was okay.
I liked the new Doctor Strange. But it's like we said before, we were talking about this the other day. The problem the MCU is going to have is that 10 years worth of build-up to Thanos, with him being sort of the ultimate cosmic bad guy, it suffers from the same issue that Supernatural had. So the TV show Supernatural, right? The first few series, they were fighting the devil. And they killed the devil. And then they had to fight a fallen angel. And then they did that. And then there was
which is what the devil was.
Which the devil originally was, but there was another fallen angel that they had to then fight, right? They did that for a couple of series. Then it turned out that the devil had a mate called Brian. And Brian was a knob. So they had to kill Brian. And then there was like a super devil. And then they go back and fight the super devil. And then it turned out that Brian had a roommate called Steve. And Steve was a little bit dodgy, so they had to go back and have over Steve. And that took a couple of seasons. And again, it just meant that you just always have to find this new ultimate bad guy. And it just means that, like, you know, eventually people just go, oh, there's no stakes. Do you know what I mean? There's no consequences, because everybody can come back from the dead in a multiverse. And, you know, and it just, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be difficult. It feels like he's doing the side quests. Yeah, exactly. Brian was a knob. Yeah, he was. Everybody knows Brian was a knob. Okay, so then the X-Rail, the one that will end up on the 2020 extrusion, will be assembled later. Oh, then why did I have to put all the... Oh, now we move on to the X gantry. All right, fine. So, identify the parts. This part. And these parts. This one has an R on it. This one has an L on it. These don't fit in. Well, that's going to be a problem, isn't it? Okay, we'll figure that out in a minute. Oh, hello. And then the focus of the X guide is the X gantry, which requires 2 printed parts. Yep. There's a micro, a mini, and a spacer. Is there? Okay. So, well, if you're starting to wane, do we need to end it there, or? We've done a decent amount tonight. We've managed to get both the back panel, the base panel, all the Z motors installed and the rails installed. Then we uninstalled some of those rails and we managed to reinstall them again. So that was a really fun journey for everybody involved. Shall we call it a night there and then look to do some more Sunday?
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Okay. We'll do that then. Thank you very much for Devil Stuff. Reminds me of TV series Preacher. Absolutely. Yeah, very similar, actually. Yeah, it is very similar. It's actually very similar to, we were talking about it earlier, Lucifer. Really good. Like, Lucifer's really good as well. So, anyway, thank you very much for joining us, everybody. We will come back again on Sunday. And we will crack on with getting the rest of this installed and together. We'll do the X gantry We might even start getting some stuff wired up, but we shall see how we go. Thank you very much for your time, guys and dolls. We'll post out the next one. Stay safe, and we'll speak to you soon.
See you later.